It was 2021, a year into the pandemic. My alarm went off and I groaned. It was a Monday, once again. I knew my calendar was chock-a-block with meetings, appointments, and presentations. I dragged myself out of bed, went to the washroom, and looked into the mirror. A figure with a tired face, sunken eyes, and slumped shoulders greeted me. I started crying. How many of you have ever felt as if you were living a life with a script written by someone else? Well, that was me, a little less than 4 years ago to this date. With an MBA from one of the most prestigious institutions in the country, don't throw away from here. A dream campus placement, impressive lateral moves. I was in a high-profile corporate job earning a 7-figure salary, a successful individual by the yardsticks of the world. Yet, there I was, crying in my bathroom. When I look back at my pictures from that time, I now know my smile didn't used to reach my eyes. You haven't slogged so hard only to spend Mondays waiting for Fridays. You haven't come this far not to have time for your loved ones. A voice went up inside my head, a voice I could no longer ignore. For the last 2-3 years of my corporate tenure, I was disillusioned, spending most of my time making beautiful PowerPoints with strategies for big companies, when all I wanted to do was to work directly with people and make an impact in their lives. I was ignoring that tiny but increasingly persistent voice that was goading me to change my career direction. How could I? For my corporate career was a decade and a half in the making. It was all that I had aspired for, was good at, and had done for most of my life. Change your career direction. That voice went once again. Again, from the outside I was successful, but inside I was empty. A stark contrast to the picture of success that society had painted for me. Staring into the mirror that day, I asked myself a question. Am I living my life, or is this a life scripted by someone else? I knew my answer. That very day, I handed my resignation to my employer and started pursuing my twin passions of life cum executive coaching and writing, defying the skepticism of those around me. I chose to rewrite my story. Today, as an author of 4 books, a co-author of an international bestseller, and regarded amongst the top 10 life and executive coaches in Asia, I stand here today to talk about how women need to take control of their narratives. For the best story that you can tell is about yourself. The moment a woman is born, society hands her a script. Be good, study well, work hard, get a job, work harder, get married, be a good wife, daughter-in-law, keep on proving yourself. This is a linear path of success that society has conditioned us to believe. But you know what? Success is not linear. Unfortunately, we are taught to seek validation from outside, as a result of which we don't trust ourselves. And then we keep on following the script, even when it no longer suits us. This is not true only for me or you, but for women worldwide. A study in the US of A reveals that 37% of women are unhappy in their jobs. Another study in the UK shows that 54% women feel stagnant in their careers. Women are stuck at jobs they no longer enjoy. Why? Statistics provide part of the answer. 78% of women employed globally report that they are sticking it out in their jobs out of fear. Fear of change. Fear of the unknown. Invariably, statistics reveal more. They rather reveal less than they hide. Moreover, we are women. As women, we are supposed to be well behaved, right? God forbid if we deviate from the set path of success that society has set for us. If by some stroke of luck you decide the success path yourself, like I did, you are forbidden to change it. You are called crazy if you do. Oh, you left your corporate job to take tuition? Someone asked me when I explained I am an executive coach. You did an MBA from IIM to become a writer? Was a very common refrain in those initial days of my transition. But you know what? Well-behaved women seldom make history. I'm standing here today giving a TED talk in front of you because I deviated from that set path. Success, my friend, is not in climbing higher. It is in tearing up that script that someone else can do and write. Success is not how the world perceives you. It is how you perceive yourself. And authentic success comes when you own your narrative. Real power comes when you claim the right to write or rewrite your story. So, how to move beyond the script? How to own your narrative? From me to you, a 3-step PASS framework to do just that. Step 1, permission. Oprah Winfrey was told in the early days of her journalism career that she was too emotional for journalism. Instead of listening to them, she rewrote her own story. She invented a new format of storytelling that combined self-help with emotional, intimate interviews and became a pioneer in the field. Sudha Murthy first broke the gendered barriers in engineering and then pivoted to become a writer, her words touching millions. Priyanka Chopra left behind a successful Bollywood career to become an even bigger icon on the global stage on her own terms. These illustrious women prove that reinvention is not just possible, it's powerful. And reinvention isn't the sole prerogative of a celebrity. In fact, you become a celebrity when you reinvent, not the other way around. I am an example of that. I often used to ask myself, how can you quit the corporate career? You have invested so much time on it. Till the day I realized you are not quitting, you are choosing. And I chose to pivot not into one, but 2 new careers. And guess what? The world didn't swallow me up. In fact, it opened up more opportunities for me than I ever imagined. Remember, your story is not theirs to write. Write your own story. You don't need external validation to pivot. Step 2, action. Start writing without ending. Falguni Nair founded Nykaa at the age of 50, when most people start thinking of retirement. Before doing that, she had no prior background in entrepreneurship, no experience in luxury, beauty, or retail. Yet she went ahead and did that without knowing whether she will be successful or not. Most women make it a point to change, to feel ready before they change. But clarity comes from action, not from overthinking. When I started writing, I didn't have a roadmap. All I had was a voice, and I chose to pen that voice daily. I made it a habit to write something every day. To this day, I write something every day, including today before I came to this venue. This daily writing habit has made me pen innumerable stories, articles, and blog posts while having a thriving coaching practice in the side. I am here today not because I had all the answers back then, but because I took action without having them. If you wait for certainty, you will wait forever. Start before you are ready. Step 3, support. Build a strong cast for your story. Indra Nui transitioned from a STEM background to become one of the most acclaimed business leaders. She has often credited a strong support system of mentors and family members for her journey. Your story is determined not only by you, but by the people you choose to surround yourself with. My transition became possible because I purposefully avoided the company of naysayers, and trust me, there were many in my early days, and instead cultivated company of those select few, my husband, my immediate family, 2-3 close friends, other successful coaches and mentors from other countries in the globe. And they always propelled and pushed me forward. Find people who will challenge and uplift you, for when you will forget your power, they will be the ones to remind you of that. So ask yourself, are you living the story you want to tell? Or are you living off a script written by someone else? True success comes not in following a script, but in writing your own. And the pen is in your hand. Because if you don't write your story, someone else will. Own your narrative for yourself. Pick up the pen today, now, and write the story only you can tell. The world will indeed try to write this story for you. Will you let it, or will you own your narrative? Thank you.